Hi, welcome to SCF Arizona's Focus on Safety. I'm your host, Greg Fernandez. In this series, we bring you information so you go home from work safe every day. On this episode, we're going to bring you some steps to ladder safety. Let's start with step one, choosing your ladder. As you can see, there are lots of ladder types. Portable step ladders like this one are handy, but they're not right for every job. There are also straight ladders, sectional ladders, and extension ladders. Some types of straight ladders you might use are fixed, an integral part of a structure that can't be moved easily. Job made, a ladder made at the construction site. Through fixed, you have to step between the rails to reach the landing. Side step fixed, you get off at the top and step to the side of the ladder's rails to reach the landing. Single cheat, a ladder that has a pair of side rails connected by cleats, rungs, or steps. Which one will you choose? Well, that depends on what and where the job is and how high up you're planning to go. You need some measurements for deciding which ladder is the right size. First is what I call the third step rule. If you can't stand on the third step and easily reach where you want, your ladder's too short. The next measurement is for extension and straight ladders. It's called the 4-to-1 rule, which just means that for every 4 feet of ladder height, you need to set the base out 1 foot. And if you're going to step onto a structure like a rooftop, you need the 3-foot rule. Any ladder needs to be at least 3 feet higher than the structure. You need to have at least 3 points of contact with the ladder if you're working while standing on it. If you can't have those 3 points, or you really need to move around, use a scaffold instead. Now, check out what's around you. Ladders and power lines just don't go together very well. And if you're carrying tools, this flimsy ladder, not strong enough. So check how much weight the ladder can and needs to support. For the 4-to-1 rule, make sure there's enough room at the base. And finally, if the ladder is too heavy for you to move easily by yourself, get some help carrying it. Later, I'm going to show you some really bad ladder choices, but for now, let's go to step 2. Step 2 is checking your ladder. You need to check every part every day. For step ladders, check the base. Is it worn or uneven? Are there non-skid pads? And are they clean and intact? Check all types of wood and fiberglass ladders for cracks, rot, splinters, broken rungs, loose joints and bolts, and hardware in bad condition. Check aluminum or steel ladders for rough burrs and sharp edges that can catch on your clothes. Look closely for loose joints and bolts, faulty welds and cracks. Make sure all hooks and locks on extension ladders are working and that ropes aren't frayed or worn. Check that the locks lock firmly, and if the rails, braces, or other parts of any metal ladder are bent, the ladder's no good. Now, carefully check that your ladder is clean or clean it off. Oil and grease can cause you to slip and fall. Tape and stickers, other than the warning labels, can hide defects. So could paint, so be sure wooden ladders aren't painted. This ladder here, it's on its way to the junkyard. A few more steps before you start using the ladder. Like I said before, you need to check out what's around you. The entire area around the top and the bottom of the ladder should be completely clear, so you don't hurt yourself going up, coming down, or while working. Again, work away from power lines. If the shock doesn't kill you, falling off might. And don't put your ladder in doorways or passageways. Someone coming through them might run into you. We're almost ready to climb, just a few more steps. First, let's look at positioning the ladder. Place the ladder where you can safely reach without losing your balance. Open a step ladder completely until it locks firmly. And make sure all extension and straight ladders are locked off and tied properly. Placing ladders on unstable things like barrels, pallets, truck beds, boxes, or uneven ground is a great way to kill yourself. Make sure the ladder's on even, solid ground and that there's nothing between the ground and the ladder, and that the ground isn't wet or slippery. Don't put your ladder in water. One guy had an aluminum ladder, placed it in a swimming pool with a little bit of water in it. and then he changed a light bulb. Next, look what's on your feet. One guy wore flip-flops on a wooden ladder. A rung broke, and a piece of wood went right through his foot. You can only imagine how that must have felt, and for how long he was out of work. So wear closed-toed shoes with non-skid soles. Okay, time to climb. Ladders are made for one person, so don't let someone else climb up with you. It might be tempting to look around or talk while you're climbing. That's a great way to miss a rung. So face the ladder with both hands on the side rails. Both hands will be free because if you're carrying tools, you'll either have a tool belt or the tools will be hoisted in a bucket or a bag. Climb the ladder one step at a time. Never go past the second rung from the top, and never stand on the top. Like I said before, you need to have 3 points of contact, one hand and 2 feet. And be careful not to lean. And don't do the fireman thing by sliding down the rails. Now, let's look at some bad decisions folks have made about ladder safety. Let's review our steps to ladder safety. We hope these steps to ladder safety keep you safe in the workplace. I'm Greg Fernandez. Thanks for watching Focus on Safety. For printed information, call SCF Arizona Communications and Public Affairs at 602-631-2701.